Okay, we are back live. Welcome back, everyone, to our daily live feed. If you're just logging on now, if you'd like to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. We do hair, makeup, suits, and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing. As you are getting logged on, if you'd like to go from Instagram over to YouTube, our YouTube channel is Sean's Couture Cuties over on YouTube. Or you can click the link in our bio. There is a YouTube video in the link tree, and that'll take you over to our channel there as well. I will be screen sharing over on YouTube, so feel free to go there, or you can sit on Instagram too and chat in as much as you'd like. We do have the chat feature available on YouTube as well, so you can chat in as we do our full stream tonight. We're actually going to cover two topics because I realized realized a little bit later last night that we have the City Showdown as well. That's wellness. So I wanted to cover a preview of that very quickly. So we really only have a few people that are of note in that one. And then we will go into the Arnold removing divisions and what I think about that. Gonna be honest, I'm probably gonna have an unpopular opinion. It's probably going to be an unpopular opinion. I might get flamed for it, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna break it down, give you the truth, the hard truth, as somebody who has followed the sport for a very, very long time. So gonna give it a few minutes, like I said, to get everybody on. And as I have said the last few nights, our early bird registration for Cuties Conquering the Stage 2023 is open and ready to go. So you can log on to that for free. That gives you access to all of our pre-registration stuff. So you get in the know, you know who our speakers are, what our topics are, what we're going to be doing, where we're going to be going, all those kinds of things before you purchase your tickets. I saw you're answering the IG stories, but speak your truth. That's right. It's a business. I'm gonna go into it in a little bit more detail tonight, and I'm explain a little bit more in detail. There's only so much you can say in an Insta story, typing things out. So I want to explain it a little bit further. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. All right. So we're gonna jump right in and preview this City Showdown. It is for wellness. So I do have the pro list up. Let me grab that. Here we go. Okay. So here's our pro list of wellness girls for the City Showdown this coming weekend. It's a pretty decent sized list here with what, 14 girls? Yeah, 14 girls here. There's a few pro debuts, it looks like, on here, and then there's some names that we should be expecting to see in that first call out. The one that it kind of comes and pops out at me right away as far as it's kind of her show to lose would be Bruno, number 11 on that list, Bruno. She's a previous Olympian. I mean, so is Renee Harshey, but I would give it to Bruno first in this scenario. So she'd be the one that I would be looking out for the most. But let me pull her up. Well, actually, let's pull up Renee first because Renee's the first one on the list. So Renee Harshey's definitely one to be paying attention to. This is Renee. Last time she got on stage was in Pittsburgh. I was there in person in Pittsburgh. Really, really beautiful look. But she's a little small. I was actually a little surprised at how undersized she looked on stage in Pittsburgh. So, I mean, she's been off stage for a little bit, but to be honest with you, she looked almost like she was bikini. She really did. She looked like she was almost bikini. So I'm curious to see if she's put a bunch of size on or what since May. I don't know how you'd put that much size on since May, but you can see here, I mean, she's just a little bit bigger than bikini right here, right? Now, I don't particularly think this is a bad look. It's just too small for the division right now in the pro league. If she was in the amateur league, sure, no problem. In the pro league, she's just a little too small. Beautiful look. Loved the purple on her, loved the look on her. She's just too small. So, it's a matter of what she decides to bring to the stage this coming weekend. Maybe she put on some size. Maybe she'll surprise us. I mean, she's got a great shape for wellness, but she's just not big enough. That's all. So there's her back shot. So you can see here, I mean, that's a great wellness shape. You know what I mean? But she just needs some more size. She needs some more conditioning. So let's see what she brings this week. So she would be one to be looking for. Next one. Oh, there we go. Next one I have on the list is Frida. So Frida hasn't been on stage since last year. Frida was a bikini pro, and she has moved up to wellness. So here I think she just jumped into Pittsburgh really quickly last year. I don't think it was even really on her radar, but they threw her in, and she just wasn't conditioned enough. She just basically wasn't ready for the show. It's been over a year and a half now, so I'm curious to see the package that she brings this year. I expect it to be much improved. I expect it to be a lot better this time around. I'm curious to see what she looks like. She was one that always in bikini. She was a bikini Olympian. She's actually one of our speakers for Cuties Conquering the Stage this year. She's a bikini Olympian, but she was always one that was kind of fighting her size, fighting her muscularity, always trying to keep her muscularity down or to stay into a bikini. So when wellness came around, she decided to move up, and she's been growing into this division since then. I believe she was soccer player in Sweden. I think she was a soccer player. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure that's what she was as far as her athletic background, which would definitely help you build up those wheels for sure, 100%. So she was always an athlete, really, really high level athlete. I remember watching an interview with her at one point. She was a very, very high level athlete. So, I think that for her, wellness probably fits her muscularity and her frame a little bit better. So I am curious to see how she looks this coming weekend after being off stage for so long. So she's going to be looking at. And then we have Bruno. So Bruno is an Olympian. Everybody expected her to do pretty well right out of the gate when she got onto the pro stage, and she did. She did very well, and it looks like she's made some significant improvements based on her Instagram stuff. But, we never know until they get up on stage. Instagram is one thing, stage is another. I remember this particular look at the Olympia because I hated her suit. I absolutely hated her suit. It almost looks like lace or something. I don't know. I like the blue color, but I don't like that top part of it. And as you guys know, I don't like the pie plates look for the top. So I am looking forward to seeing an improved look on her this coming weekend. Hopefully she'll have changed up that suit a little bit since the Olympia. But from what I'm seeing, like I said, from what I've been seeing on Instagram, I think she's done pretty good. I think she's done pretty good as far as improvements to her physique. So I think it would be her show to lose, basically, in this particular show. Let's see. And this is the last girl that I brought up, which is Karen. I looked on NBC News and I didn't see any pro shots. So I don't know if she just turned pro or what. This was from an NPC show when she competed against Isabel Nunes, who won the Arnold this past year. So I'm not super familiar with this girl other than the fact she looks really good here. And this was a couple years ago now. So if she looks better than this, I'm looking forward to seeing what she looks like on stage. And she could very well be in that top spot if she's improved since this look, which I would imagine she has for the last couple of years, So that is the Sin City Showdown. I wanted to go into that real quick since I did miss that. There's a few other girls on here that could jump out. We've got some pro debuts, things like that. So be looking out for that. Okay, so I liked her suit color. For wellness. I wouldn't do it for bikini, but I liked her suit color for wellness. I like that ombre look. All right, so let's talk about this whole thing with the Arnold, right? This is a controversial topic right now. When I talk about feelings, I have mixed emotions and feelings about it because I always feel for women in this sport. I want to see the women successful in this sport. Figure was my first love. Figure was what got me involved in the first place. So I actually started just Googling a few random things. So I found, oh crap, what did I do? Shoot. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. So I brought up a couple of articles and things like that I pulled up that I thought would be beneficial to look at. So, back in 2013, this was like the heyday of figure, right? 2013 is when I won my pro card. Okay. So this was back when it was a big like rivalry showdown. These were the three that were being talked about all the time right here. We've got Nicole Wilkins, Aaron Stern, and then holy crap, just completely Candace Keene. Thank you. Oh my goodness, totally blanked on her name. I was gonna say Candace Carter, and then we're not at Candace Carter yet. Candace Keene. It was between the three of them all the time. So it was a great rivalry. Kept people engaged. There were a lot of girls in the the top 10 of the figure division that were always in and out of this area. Like Swan Cardot and Titone, Jennifer Strobo. A lot of names that we all followed all the time. Again, this was kind of the heyday of figure, right? And then bikini started getting popular. Right after 2013, I mentioned this. I won my pro card again in 2013 in July. Right after that, this Arnold, Nicole Wilkins, lost the title. I think she was third. I don't remember what her placing was in this one. Yeah, these are some of your big names and stuff. So I can't remember what her placing was, but she also lost the New York Pro. She was kind of on this downturn. Nicole Wilkins was. And so going out of New York Pro, she went into the Olympia, and her conditioning was like hard as a rock. Nobody's ever seen her look like that before. It was a completely different look for her. She started working with Haney at the time, and she won the Olympia. So then what happened at that point is the conditioning for figure started going up and up and up and up and up. The conditioning went up, the size went up, and it just kept going from there. And as that happened, I watched the bikini division taking over in popularity, and the figure division started to dwindle, and that's continued to happen. Now, at the end of the day, when you are putting on a show, you are trying to make money. Okay. So the Arnold has to still pay sanctions, right? The Arnold is not it's not the IFBB. The IFBB is the governing body, and then everybody else that puts on a show has to pay sanctions to the IFBB. So I'm not sure exactly how much it is for the Arnold promoters and things like that in order to have their show. But if they're putting on a show where a division is not making them money, but costing them money, it's very difficult for them to justify continuing to put that division into the show. They got rid of 212 division a couple years ago, right? So everybody's talking about figure right now because this is the second female division they've taken out in the last couple of years. But they also took out the 212s. They took out a men's division as well. They take out divisions that are costing them money. Right? It's not just the sanction fees, but when these girls and guys get invited, the promoters pay for their lodging, pay for tickets, pay for their, per diem things, everything. It's every athlete that comes in there, they pay their way to go. So it's not a typical show. It's an invite only show. So they're inviting top athletes in the world, hoping that those particular athletes are going to bring revenue into the seats. Right? So they're not making these decisions emotionally. My decision emotionally was have everybody, right? My decision for feelings is have everybody. But at the end of the day, when there is an organization that is struggling to make money, they have to make decisions. They have to make hard decisions. Now, if you guys don't remember, when the whole, pandemic thing happened and all of that, the Arnold got hit hard because everything got shut down the weekend of the Arnold that year. And, sponsors were upset. The venue was upset. The athletes were upset. Everybody was upset. I go to the Arnold every single year. The day before I was supposed to leave, I canceled everything because we weren't allowed to go in to watch the athletes, and the expo was canceled. The day before I was going to leave. All of the girls that were going with me, they all canceled as well. The Arnold kept pushing on, and they tried to make the best of it, right? They still had the amateur division that went on, or amateur portion that went on. They still had the pros that went on. They still kept it running, right? They still kept it going. The following Arnold was the one that just happened this past September. They didn't want to go a whole year. Typically it's in March. They didn't do it in March, but they didn't want to go a whole year without having an Arnold. So they put that Arnold on in September. That Arnold was just the athletes. The expo was like 10 booths. You see more booths at a local NPC show than we did at the Arnold. They didn't make money, right? It's a very, very expensive show and expo. It's a huge, 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 huge expo. And they have not only IFBB and NPC, but they also have strongman and everything. So when you have all of those divisions, you have all of those sports, you have all of those activities going on, that is money that they have to spend. And I promise you, they do not make decisions emotionally. They make decisions based on where their money can best be spent to get and generate revenue back, right? They should make a division that's a step lower than bikini then too. How many divisions are they going to make? It used to be just bodybuilding. It used to be just bodybuilding. See, that's the other thing that people are like, oh, they should do this. They should do that. They should do this. Do you realize that there are a ton of divisions now? Just 12 years ago, there was 2 divisions for women. There was female bodybuilding, there was figure. 12 years ago. 12 years ago is when bikini started. Now, you've got figure, women's bodybuilding, or I'm sorry, let me start from the top. Female bodybuilding, women's physique, figure, wellness, bikini. How many more divisions are they going to make? They can't keep making divisions. That doesn't help. That doesn't help the promoters. Guess what? The promoters still have to pay sanction fees when they do that. Promoters still have to pay the IFBB sanction fees to have those divisions, right? And it's not just the sanction fees. It's also the prize money. It's also the money that they have to spend on the athletes actually being there. Not to mention, we are in a recession right now, right? People are not going out and spending money like it's water. This is businesses included. People forget real quickly that the Arnold put their neck on the line to even have an Arnold in 2021. They didn't have to do that. Most every other organization out there canceled their shows. The Arnold didn't. They still put it on. They still made the most of it. And I was there in September and I saw the lack of participation in the audience. Guess where they make money as an organization, the Arnold? They make money from ticket sales. The shows weren't sold out. People were still scared to go out. They didn't make the money that they typically do. So you have to start making difficult decisions. You have to start making, and offered a free live stream. Exactly. Yep. Just like the NBA sponsors the WNBA and the other division can supplement. It's not right. I'm sorry, I don't understand that particular comment. If you could explain that a little bit. To mention the live stream. Yep, they do put on a free live stream. Yep, they do. So they actually do give back a lot. They actually do give back a lot. So how quickly people forget, you know, and they want to pounce on them for them having to make a difficult decision, right? In business, there is no such thing as feelings. There's numbers. There's numbers. And when the numbers don't add up, you have to make difficult decisions. It's just the way the world works. Wish it could be all rainbows and butterflies and everybody could get what they want, but that's not how the world works. That's not real life. Right? And at the end of the day, they have to make a decision that's going to help to keep them in business, because if they drive themselves out of business, there's no Arnold for anybody. If they lose money, there's no Arnold for anybody involved. Right? I'm sure that adding wellness probably indirectly hit figure, but I go to these shows. And I see a lot of people that are, or I see a lot of these different shows where the numbers are really suffering for figure in general. There's a show this past weekend where there was 5 figure competitors total in the entire show, whereas there was like 15 bikini girls in one class. You know what I mean? So I think the way they'd explain the decision helped, but offended figure competitors. Yeah, and and that's one thing I will bring up as far as the depth of competitor thing. I went to the Arnold for the first time this March. It was so fun, but my friend who competed amateur told me that there weren't nearly as many people competing as there used to be. Yep, the other divisions that make money can support the other divisions, maybe not invite as many competitors. Yeah, that only works to a certain extent, though. That only works to a certain extent. Again, when you're looking at the Arnold used to be only two, like it used to be 2 female divisions, and now there's 5, right? There used to be only 2, and now there's 5. So they have to make decisions somewhere, right? So that's the problem. Okay, they have to make decisions somewhere. You can't keep pulling blood from a stone, right? I was explaining something and I lost track. Oh yeah. So the question was, did adding wellness affect figure? So indirectly maybe, but I don't think so, because the decline of the figure numbers has been happening for a while. And again, don't take this as an offensive thing for you guys in figure, because figure was where I started. I went pro in figure. I love figure. Feelings wise, I love figure, but you can't deny what's happening on the stages. You know, those of you that do compete in figure, you probably have noticed when you get on stage, you're standing next to 2 other people. I've been to national shows where there's 2 or 3 people in a class. I went to nationals where one of the classes had 2 people in it, so both of them got their pro cards. This is a natural evolution. Things like this happen. Now, what can you do if you love figure, right? Let's figure out what the solution is. If you love division of figure and you want to see it stick around, what can you do to make that happen? Take an example from Sarah Villegas from Women's Physique. She's put up her own money in order to put out women's physique shows and purses for women's physique competitors at shows. If you want to see your division survive, you have to figure out a way to earn funds for it. Sarah put out her own money in order to see her division survive. That's commendable. I've said the same thing about Masters Pros. I love Masters Pros, you guys. You guys know I work with a lot of you guys. In order to have Masters Pros continuing to have shows, you have to find a way to get money in the door, get sponsors. If you know people that would love to sponsor these shows for figure competitors or for Masters competitors or for women's physique competitors, get them in the door, get them sponsoring. That's how you save a division. Get athletes to show up. That's how you save a division. That's how female bodybuilding came back. Female bodybuilding was out of the Olympia. They got Jake Wood, who loves female bodybuilding, to come back and bring it back. That's how you save a division. It's all about dollars and cents. Bottom line. Show up and compete, right? So figure needs to bring a bigger crowd or have more competitors, or both. Both. Needs both. Yep. That's how you save a division. Promoters will have the division. Promoters will have the show if they're making money. Really, really hard to run a business when you're losing money. Really hard to do that. And a lot of businesses right now are suffering. A lot of them. Right? So, like I said, I just gave you an option how to survive and how to make this a solution. Right? Facts and numbers always will beat feelings. I'd love to be able to do a Cuties Conquering the Stage every month of the year, but it costs me a shit ton of money in order to put those things on. You know? So I can't. I can't. I would bankrupt myself in a matter of 2 months. You know? It just is what it is. There are so many things that I would love to do. Absolutely love to do for the sport, but I don't have the money to do it. Right? You got to be smart. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. As much as I would love to be the one to sit there and say, I can bring all these things back, I can do all this, I can do it, I don't have the resources. Right? Is the Arnold doing this set the tone for the rest of the industry? Is it a snowball? I don't think it sets a tone for the rest of the industry. I think that the Arnold's one of the first people that we notice because it's such a big show, because it's such a prestigious show and it's such a big title. But just take a look at these pro lists. We go through these pro shows every weekend. What do we talk about every weekend? Bikini. What do we talk about every third weekend? Figure. And who's typically the one that's in the winner's circle? Jessica Reyes Padilla. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. It's not just this one show, you guys. It seems like it because it's this big, huge title. But watch what happens in your everyday life. Like they always talk about, there's cracks in the foundation. Before that ceiling ever implodes on a house, before the house crashes down, there are cracks in the foundation. And all those little cracks are what eventually makes the whole thing fall. It's not one thing, it's all the little tiny cracks. Same thing in any business. There's little tiny cracks. Little tiny cracks. You can't keep putting band-aids over it. You got to fill it and figure out what the issue is with the foundation itself. Fix the foundation. Right? So, any questions, you guys? You know, I go out there and I commend people like Sarah Villegas, who's putting her money where her mouth is, quite literally. Quite literally, she put her money where her mouth is in order to, give back to the division that she loves. Same thing with Jake Wood. He put his money where his mouth is to bring back the divisions that he loves. Right? Anything else anyone wants to add in or ask about? Because again, I started in figure. I went pro in figure. I tell people all the time, figure is my first love. You never want to see anything fade off into the night that you love, but sometimes that happens. Things evolve, things change, and you have to make tough decisions in the world of business. Right? Yes, question about crossing over, going pro as one and then switching as a pro. Is it a common strategy? I wouldn't say it's common, but I would say that it does happen a lot. I mean, I wouldn't say that's kind of the same thing. I wouldn't say it's common. I would say it does happen, right? And again, as divisions evolve, let's take Aaron Stern, for example. We were just talking about Aaron Stern that was in that heyday of the figure days back in 2012, 2013, all of that. She's one of the top girls all the way through there. She started in figure, now she's in bikini. It happens. It does happen. They can go the other way too. Oh goodness, Women's Physique Pro won the Arnold. Natalia started in figure. Natalia started in figure, and now she's in Women's Physique. So it does happen. I wouldn't say that it's common, but it does happen. It's reality, right? It's reality. Exactly. It's reality. Yep. So Any other questions, guys? Melissa, I know you're relatively new to the sport, so I'm not going to go into a whole deluge of this whole thing. But yes, we're talking about one show in particular, the Arnold. Any other questions, guys? I mean, one of the beautiful things about this sport is that there are 5 female divisions. I'm sorry, there's 6. I forgot about fitness. Oh my goodness. I've been saying 5 this whole time. There's fitness too. There's fitness as well. There's 6. There's 6 female divisions, you guys. 6. Yeah, so there we go. Lana just mentioned too. I completely forgot about fitness. Fitness is in the Arnold. Fitness is in the Arnold. Yep. There's 6. So you have to remember the promoters of these shows, the Arnold, they're putting out a shit ton of money in order to put this show on. That's a lot of freaking divisions and competitors to have to put up and put out. Right? Well, you're one person that likes figure better than fitness. There's plenty of other people that like fitness better than figure. So you see what I'm saying? Like you're just one person, and that's okay. You can have that opinion, you know. But I'll tell you what, I like watching fitness better than I like watching figure. I'm gonna be honest with you in that scenario. Fitness is fun to watch. The routines, I love watching fitness routines. That's one of my favorite parts of the Arnold. That's one of my favorite parts. I love watching the fitness routines, and I love watching the men's open routines. Those are my 2 favorite things of the Arnold. Notice I didn't say bikini. Notice I didn't say wellness. Notice I didn't say anything. Fitness routines and the open routines. Those are my 2 favorites. People like action, right? So it's hard, guys. You have to make tough decisions in the world of business. You have to make tough decisions in the world of business. So the Olympia. Yep, the Olympia and the Arnold pay for the athletes. Yep. So those are the 2 big shows. Those are the 2 biggest titles, that kind of thing. They come with all the prestige and the perks as an athlete, but that is a big bill that those promoters have to foot. Hotels, airfare, all of that stuff. Right? Somebody's got to make that tough decision. And like I said, it wasn't just the females. I don't think just the females are getting cut. The 212 got cut too. We forget. We only remember what happened now. We forget what happened earlier. Right? Like I said, they took a loss through the whole COVID era in order to put the show on in itself. Promoters make money through ticket sales. Ticket sales, ticket sales, ticket sales. That's how they make money. So again, if you're not drawing people in, ticket sales. So I'm saying the last 2 years have been tough on these big shows. Even the Olympia was tough to get people. That's why they had the Olympia in Florida, because that was the one place where they could actually have a bigger audience. You know, some of these other locations they couldn't. They didn't know if they were able to even have an audience initially when they were scheduled to have it in Vegas. How do you make money if you can't sell tickets? Doesn't happen, right? So just always remember that there's always a rhyme or reason. Money over feelings. If everything was rainbows and unicorns, it would be a beautiful life, you know? But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. There's no rainbows and unicorns, just in our imaginations. So, got to make those tough choices. Got to make those tough decisions. And, you got to cut some things in order to keep others. Totally understand the decision. It just stinks. Bikini is sexy, wellness is sexy, figure is statuesque. Now that option would be dwindling. That's your opinion, though. And I have to say I disagree. So any other questions, guys? All right, I got like a Something in my eyelash has been driving me crazy this whole live feed. I always want to keep it open so you guys can participate and ask questions too. And it's only this one show, guys. There's plenty of options, but there's way more options than competitors actually show up. Like I was saying before, I went to nationals and there was 2 girls in one class, you know? So least lesions added figure out. See, there you go. For every negative, there's a positive. For every negative, there's a positive. You can sit and you can dwell in the negative aspect of this, or you can find ways to make it better, find ways to find solutions, and you can look at the positive things that are still going on. You know, find a solution. That's what I say to those of you that are really upset by this decision. Find a solution. There's always solutions to problems. You just gotta look hard enough, right? Figure a lot. Oh, of course, figures a lot at CCTS. Julia's coming back. Absolutely. 100%. 100% figures allowed. That's one difficult decision I didn't have to make. 100%. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'll always have a special place. Again, that's how I put my money where my mouth is. I have a special place for figure. Right? That doesn't mean I don't understand the people that have to make the tough decisions there, but thankfully I can keep it. I knew that, right? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. No, competitors are invited based on performance. Competitors are invited based on performance. You have to send in a resume. You have to have placed a certain way in order to actually get an invite. You have to actually send in a bio, photos, all those kinds of things. You have to apply for the Arnold. It's the one show where you have to apply. You have to apply to be accepted, and there are stipulations as far as how you get accepted. So, yeah, I don't have to X out figure. Come see me at CCTS. I got you. Like I said, that's where I put my money where my mouth is. It costs me a lot of money to put on CCTS every year. But I do it because it is an investment in my business, and it's an investment in you, my clients, right? So I take a risk every year. I take a big risk every year. Trust me, I have sleepless nights. But I do it because I know that it's going to come back around 10 times over. And that is how I put my money where my mouth is. Just like I was talking about with Sarah Villegas for women's physique. Same thing. Right? That's how I make my mark. I don't have control over everybody else. I got control over what I do. You definitely do, and we appreciate it. Can't wait to be there this year. Awesome. Yes, absolutely. 100%. 100%. You know, I understand having to make difficult decisions. I got to make them every day as a business owner, but you always got a place with me. Always got a place with me. Always. Any other questions, you guys? I'm late, but good. Can I compete at CCTS like even novice? Oh, yeah. I have competitors. I have people that come to CCTS who have never stepped on stage before. Great example. She may even be on this live feed somewhere, is one of the girls, Melissa Busta. Melissa had never competed before. She came to CCTS. That was her very first time ever having to do anything with competing at all. And guess who won her pro card this year in July at Masters Nationals? Melissa. She started at CCTS. That's where she started, right there. So yes, absolutely. You don't have to be a current competitor. Anybody is involved. Anybody who wants to be involved can be involved. We have a wide open door. Darlene too. Yep, absolutely. Darlene too. Hell, we even had a girl come that was 9 months pregnant, about ready to freaking give birth on stage. She literally gave birth 2 weeks after CCTS, and she still got on stage and posed. Mm-hmm. Everybody, hey, that's happened twice. Actually, Raven's on here somewhere. Raven did that her first year. She gave birth, what was it, like 2 weeks after the competition. So we've had that happen twice. Jenny, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Jenny Garcia. Yep. 100%. Got on stage, posed and everything. I think she actually did it in heels. Raven, I think you did it in your bare feet, if I remember correctly. But yep. We've had girls get on stage with casts on their feet. We've had girls get on stage with their arm in a sling. I mean, we are open to everybody. 100%. Mm-hmm. That's me putting my money where my mouth is, right? Oh my God, her baby's adorable. Yeah, absolutely. I think she just posted up pictures at like today or yesterday or something like that. Yeah. Uh-huh. CCTS babies. I know we already have a second generation. Literally, we have second generations. We have and I'm trying to think. So I don't think Kay was actually pregnant at CCTS, but her husband was one of our photographers one year, and she did bring her newborn baby to CCTS. So we've had tons of babies. Yes. Well, on Friday is just check-ins. So if you can come in on Friday night, and we have the cocktail hour and stuff like that on Friday night, but if you can come in even that Friday night, you'll be there for all of the seminars and everything on Saturday, Sunday. So even if it's just you have to, I mean, I hope you don't have to miss Friday, but if you had to miss Friday, you're not going to miss any of the seminars. Yes, you did, Raven. Yep. And Raven's been every year since. She set the tone. We allow for the babies on stage. Yep. So yeah. So if you can't get your work things schedule like changed or whatever, it's totally fine. Because like I said, the seminars don't start until Saturday morning. Now, obviously, we want you there for the cocktail hour as well. But worst case scenario, you'll still be there for all the learning stuff. Maybe before was too big for heels. Yes, that's right. It's so funny. At some point, we're gonna have a reunion and of all the pregnant moms and their kids come back to CCTS. Oh goodness gracious! But yeah, see, I'll welcome you all with open arms, except for boys. Boys aren't allowed. Oh, unless they were in their mom's tummies, boys are not allowed. Yep, Jenny. Yep. Any other questions, you guys? I hope that just by me talking about this with you guys, that this kind of helps you understand it a little bit better. That's always my goal. Sometimes the solutions to problems are not what we like, but we have to make some tough decisions sometimes, right? Shana's babysitting, I know, right? Actually, I'm a very good babysitter. I'm a very good auntie. So I spoil kids. That's why I'm a good auntie and not a good mom, because I spoil them. But if you guys have any further questions about these decisions and things like that, feel free to reach out to me, right? I have no problem with talking about it and let you kind of know my thoughts and all those kinds of things. And like I said, it's a tough decision sometimes, but you have to make tough decisions in life. That's just part of life, right? I came off a cruise and right to CCTS in 2019. I won't miss it. I love it. I love it. I'd be extra exhausted. Yes, I'd be extra. See, if it was CCTS weekend, yeah, I'd be 100%. I wouldn't be surviving. I would not be surviving. So speaking of, since we're on this topic, I will put that plug in again. Make sure that you are signed up on our early bird list. The link is in the drop down on our bio on Instagram. It's also in our description box for YouTube. And as I have mentioned, the first day that we opened up from 1:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 3:30, our site did crash. So if you thought you registered during that period of time, we didn't actually get your registration. So just go back through and put your email in one more time just to make sure that we have you on our list. You need to be on that list in order to get all the information, all the videos, all the pre-launch content, everything that you need in order to know what's going on, basically. So make sure you're in on that list. Yeah, 7 years in a row, Raven. I think we're gonna have to start doing something special for the girls that have been there for like 7-8 years. This is our 8th year coming. You only missed the first year. Sean doesn't sleep for 4 days. No, that's true. I don't sleep for 4 days. I run on caffeine. I run on caffeine and alcohol. An upper and a downer, an upper and a downer. Hey, but I love it. I love it. I do it because I love it. So, did we get a reply email that the email was received from our registration? Well, I know that you wrote into the help desk, right? So Danny did respond to you and let you know that you're on our list. So you're fine. You're good. If you're not getting emails from us, then that means you're not on our registration list, because if we didn't capture your email when you registered, we have no way to email you back. So if you're not getting any emails from us, that's your indication that you're not on our list. Right? So that's a pretty good indication if you're not getting anything from us, right? Yep. Yeah. So Holly, you're all set. You're good to go. Because yeah, I know Danny did respond back to you. So but yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Hopefully this live feed helped put things into perspective a little bit. And I hope that it was helpful. And other than that, like I said, you all are welcome at CCTS. All of you. You're all welcome, as long as you're girls. No boys allowed. So excited. Me too. Definitely. And as always, if you want to work with me, suitsandposing.com is where I have to go. We won't be on live tomorrow because it's Friday and I have work to do. We'll be back on Tuesday. We will do a wrap up of the 2 pro shows from this past weekend, or this coming weekend. And then we may or may not be on Wednesday because we've got North Americans. It's going to be a busy week next week. So we have a Sundays with Sean this coming week. So if you're coming, make sure you're signed up. And I'll see a lot of you guys there. I think that's it. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you back here live again on Tuesday. And we'll go live on Instagram for Sundays with Sean. So we'll be on live there. Okay. This is going to be my 7th CCTS. Absolutely love it. Sets my season off to the right track. Absolutely does. Gets us revved up and ready to go. Revved up and ready to go. All right, you guys, have a great night. I'm going to log off of. Oh, and if you're on YouTube, subscribe and turn on notifications. Do that for me too. Thank you. All right.